The Vikings. The Vikings are back. The Vikings beat the Niners 22-17. Kirk D. Cousins was awesome last night. And now we start to speculate. Are the Vikings going to be maybe a wild card team this year? The Lions lose. The Vikings win. And now we start to look at the Vikings and we look at their schedule and we go, Bears aren't good. Maybe the Packers aren't good. And maybe, just maybe, they could get in a wild card spot. Now, they have Green Bay coming up. They also have Atlanta. They have the Saints. They have Denver. They have the Bears. They have the Raiders. They have a bye week. They have hope. And Justin Jefferson didn't even play last night. Jordan Addison was wonderful. Came out of high school. Notre Dame wanted him to be a defensive back, went to Pitt to be a wide receiver, and one of the first players to take advantage of NIL when he transferred to USC, and now with the Minnesota Vikings. It was a great performance by Minnesota. Here's Kirk D. Cousins talking about Jordan Addison's touchdown right before the half.
Bring a blitz there, and they were kind of zeroed out in the back end, and I had to throw it earlier than I wanted to, and I didn't really know where to lead him. And so I was like, I don't want to overlead him. And then what I did was I underled him. And so you allow the DB then to undercut it, and I thought it was getting picked. And Jordan, I still don't quite know. I haven't seen it in slow motion. I still don't know how Jordan came away with it. And then because they were kind of zeroed out, once he pulls away, there's nobody left. So a big time play by him.
Yeah, it should have been another interception. And Cousins got picked off in the first series in similar play with those two players, Ward and Addison. And Ward took it away the first time. Addison took it away the second time. Brock Purdy, not Purdy, talked about the loss.
2 in a row. It's the NFL. Every team is good. It doesn't matter who you're going against, what the record is, or anything like that. We didn't come into the week taking this team lightly. We knew it was going to be a hostile environment. It was going to be a great challenge. Our defense was really good. Kirk Cousins is really good. So it's like, for us, we came in with the right mindset. We just got to execute better. But for me, and a second one in a row hurts, obviously, but we just got to be better and got a big one ahead this week, too. So.
All right. So that was an MVP candidate a couple of weeks ago. Maybe not as much now. 2 interceptions, final 2 drives, and they could have won this game. Kirk Cousins is one of 2 quarterbacks since 2019 to throw for at least 378 yards against the 49ers. The other quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, Week 7 of 2022.
Woo! Stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day. This is the stat of the day.
Stat of the day brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the program. Seton O'Connor with the poll question duties today.
Let's see. Paulie just sent this one over, which is fun. Iffy September team that has the best chance to make the playoffs.
Okay, do you have some candidates?
As a matter of fact, we do.
Okay, so these are the teams that started out slow.
Yeah. Okay. Say the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay,
they're sitting at 3-3,
and they got the Niners
right
coming
now.
up. Most must-win game of the weekend.
The Bengals actually have a very tough schedule the rest of the season.
Yeah.
You got the 5-2 Jaguars.
Okay.
At 5-2, it feels tough to call them iffy, but
well, what did they start out at?
They were 1-2.
Okay. I think you have to have a larger sample size before I can say you didn't start well, but you have a really good chance.
We could remove the Jags because the AFC South seems a layup draw.
No, the Jags made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Won a playoff game.
all right, let's take them out.
Okay.
How about the 3-3 Jets?
Yes.
Yes, playoffs or yes?
Yes, playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that we're looking at them as a possible, I don't know, it just feels like maybe we're moving past the Zach Wilson. Remember, they wanted to get Zach Wilson, or they wanted to get Kirk D. Cousins to replace Zach Wilson. And I kept saying, see what you have in the kid. And Minnesota's not trading Kirk D. Cousins, and certainly not trading him now. Who else?
How about your Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yes.
4-2?
Yeah.
They're looking good.
Sure.
That's a tough division, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Especially with the Bengals.
Yeah.
At 3-3.
Yeah.
It's weird that the Bengals are very much a playoff team and in last place there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we come down to your Vikings.
Yeah, of course. They got Kirk D. Cousins.
Vikings have an easy schedule moving forward. They have the Lions, Falcons, and Bengals, but then they also play the Bears, Broncos, Packers, Raiders, Saints. That's a lot of wins right there.
I know, but they're at Green Bay, at Atlanta, I think, at Denver, at the Raiders. So those aren't given. You know,
They're not given, but they're friendly.
Yeah, friendly. And then they have a bye week after that.
I mean, compared to the Bengals, right? The Bengals have the Chiefs, 49ers, Ravens, Jaguars, Browns. They still play the Steelers twice. And then they have the Colts and the Vikings.
Yeah.
New look Vikings.
Yeah. Yeah, Paulie.
It was a great night for Cousins to poo-poo the I can't play in prime time.
Poo-poo.
He did some nice poo-pooing there. Imagine if you're someone who's never watched football, like never watched the NFL, and tuned in and said, man, this Vikings quarterback, he's lights out. He was killing them all game.
Well, Troy Aikman said he's a top 10 quarterback. He's like, I love Kirk Cousins. He's a top 10 quarterback.
He looked fantastic.
I would like to know Troy's top 10, just so I know who he's taken out. Because, we would always do this. Oh, this guy's a top 10 player of all time. And then I'd go, all right, well, let's run down the list because are you dropping Larry Bird out of your top 10? Is Magic coming out of your top 10 here? Yes, Todd.
And he's got that nerdy thing going. They put the chain around his neck in the post-game interview. Gotta love Kirk Cousins.
And he talked about the pregame song that now they've adopted the Creed song Higher. And Kirk Cousins talked about this.
Big to get a win, and I got to say it, Creed. I'm getting my ankles taped pregame because I try to get them taped as late as possible, and I'm sitting there on the table, and suddenly it comes on. And Garrett Bradbury's doing some body work next to me, and he goes, forget this, I got to go enjoy this with the boys. So he then gets up and goes in the locker room, and I get my ankles taped, and we go in there. It's really good morale, and then we go to pray in the corner of the locker room, and any guys that want to pray, and we go prayer, over here, and so we had to turn the Creed off. And Harrison Smith made a great point. He said, "Guys, this is the prayer." And I thought that's pretty good. So yeah, we'll keep playing. But they keep playing Higher, and I'm going. Creed has a lot of hits. They got a good catalog. We don't have to only play Higher, but they're taking us higher, so we'll take it.
Okay, divine intervention there. I thought the Rangers, they had cornered the market on Creed songs here. Now the Vikings.
We're in the middle of a Creed renaissance right now. I don't know if you guys are realizing this.
Get on the bandwagon.
Yeah, Paul.
There's no bigger sure thing in sports history than the fact that Kirk Cousins knew Creed's entire catalog.
Of course he did.
And probably celebrates them yearly.
Yeah.
Like he thinks we're nuts that we're new to this.
All right, what other poll questions do we have?
Well, we could stick with Kirk Cousins right there.
Ooh.
Kirk Cousins is
this a Paulie special?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
a great quarterback,
Okay.
frustrating, good but not clutch, other. You can pick one of those.
But you don't have all the above, do you?
No.
Okay. I mean, he's good. He is. He's not clutch, though.
Dang, you're going good but not clutch?
Well, the numbers show that when he's in prime time. I mean, does that constitute if you're clutch or not?
Dang.
You're in big games if you're in prime time.
GNC, good not clutch.
Good, not
Classic
clutch.
GNC guy.
Yeah.
Total GNC.
I mean, he's not great.
1-3 in the postseason as a starter.
Yeah.
That hurts.
He can be really good. He's just not consistently really good. Do I think he's one of those guys where you look at his numbers and you go, man, but is he a top 10 quarterback? This is just based off last night.
Oh, of course.
I love the recency bias. The Vikings are making the playoffs, and Kirk Cousins, great quarterback.
Right, wasn't it before the game the Vikings were basically a yard sale?
Yeah.
And now they're playoff contenders.
I was watching pregame, and Shefty was talking about they're not going to move Kirk Cousins, but Danielle Hunter, they might, their best pass rusher. And I'm thinking, okay, you keep your quarterback, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings re-signed Kirk Cousins. I really wouldn't. And then maybe drafted a quarterback. But the Vikings, they put pressure on you. I think they lead the league in sacks. The problem has been the offense. They have a lot of turnovers. But they didn't get hurt with turnovers last night. And you end up winning that game because of that. But if you're the 49ers, okay, who lost more? Trying to think the right word. How about goodwill? The Lions or the Niners? The Lions get blown out by Baltimore, and the Niners lose to Minnesota. Both games on the road. Who lost more goodwill this weekend? Yes, Eden?
Definitely the Lions.
Okay.
The 49ers have a track record of winning.
Okay.
The Lions haven't seen that in a long time.
All right. Anybody think otherwise there? Yes, Todd.
I think the Niners, we were all on the Brock Purdy. He wins every game, and all of a sudden they've lost 2 in a row against a
Are
questionable
you off
Viking
the
team.
Niners bandwagon?
Not just yet. They're still one of the top teams in the league,
Are
but
you-
there should be some concern. They lost 2 games
Are
in a
you
row.
still on the Lions bandwagon?
I am.
Okay. All right. Marvin, Niners apologist. How do you feel today?
You know what? It was a tough loss, but I don't feel terrible because this week and last week it could have went either way.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions got their doors blown off
Okay.
by the Ravens,
Okay.
and they haven't proven anything to say, hey, they can go deep into a playoffs.
It's like now all of a sudden people are looking at the Ravens going, hey, they could be a Super Bowl team. Yes, they could be. Yes, they could be. Lamar Jackson, MVP. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's like if you said, all right, why don't you do your picks again? So what are we, 7 games into the season? If you said I could redo my picks, I would take Philadelphia and I would take the Baltimore Ravens if I was going to redo. But Kansas City might be the surest thing here. And maybe it's just we want to be counter to everything. You know, we're looking for the new story here. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson hasn't been good in the playoffs. Now coming back, new contract, new offensive coordinator, got some weapons here. Throw in OBJ if you want to. And there's a storyline that we fall in love with. Man, that Kansas City Chiefs team still, like it's a guarantee. You got Mahomes and Kelsey. You start with that, and nobody has that. There are other receivers who might be better than Kelsey. But when there's a game on the line, there's a big game, I'll take Kelsey over everybody. I just will. You know, is he better than Justin Jefferson or Stephon Diggs or Devontae Adams? Probably not. But if you said big game and I got him with his quarterback, it's no-brainer. There's no argument. Yes, Marv.
The fact that you're putting him in the same category as great wide receivers just shows you how great he is at his position, where he's probably the best tight end in the league, bar none. There's a couple other really good tight ends,
Sure.
but you're putting up there with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, who are big-time wide receivers.
They are, but what is the end result? What is the goal? To get open and score touchdowns, to get catches. When you get targets, you make catches. I don't care if you're a receiver or tight end. The value of what do you do when you get the ball? Travis Kelce makes things happen. Yes, Mark.
Oh, I was just saying, the amount of love that you're showing him right here is like, that's big time because.
But what's the difference between Kelce and those other receivers?
Money.
Other than and Taylor Swift. But, you know, it's the ability to be able to make a bigger play, a longer play. They're more athletic. But if you said you could have, I'll give you that choice. You can have any of those receivers, but you have to take them with their quarterback. Right? There's no discussion. You can have Josh Allen with Stephon Diggs. I'll take Mahomes with Kelce. Absolutely. All day. Yeah, Paulie.
I think this is one of the cases where the partnership is the
Yes.
great part of it. It's like, I don't know that Jerry Rice is physically the most talented receiver of all time, but his partnership with Montana and the head coach Bill Walsh became the greatest wide receiver of all time. And, you know, that's not a knock on Jerry Rice. He went to the right place and maxed it out as much as anybody can max it out.
All right, we'll settle on our poll question. Phone calls are always welcome. I like Fritzy goes, hey, how about this? Kirk Cousins, question mark. I like that. Still no for me. Thanks. Okay.
I think you like that.
I do.
You're leaning towards you like that.
But do you love that?
No.
Don't
Okay,
love that.
there you go.
No. I can give you the keys to the car, but, you know, how fast we driving?
You're leasing, not buying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lease, not buy.
Brought to you by Mercedes.
See, that's gold.
Yeah.